You know who's kind of a hot mess? Literally everybody, because perfection is an illusion. So just give it up already. And that's coming from a vitamin and supplement company. Ritual knows it's basically impossible to get all the nutrients from your diet 100% of the time. So they made a multivitamin that helps you focus on what's important, like filling key nutrient gaps to support foundational health. I take Ritual. I actually have some in my purse that I'm going to take. Look. Right here, shake it up, shake it around. It's my Rituals multivitamin for women's 18 plus, because I know even when I'm on my healthiest holistic journey and I'm really paying attention to what's going on in my body, I am not going to get everything my body needs. It's just the way our plants and vegetables and fruits are grown. They're grown out of season. We're depleting the soil, so we need the extra help in our diet to fill in the gaps. And I choose Ritual to fill in those gaps. A clinically backed multivitamin for women's 18 plus with high quality and traceable key ingredients in clean bioavailable forms with 9 key nutrients in 2 capsules per day. Their unique beadlet and oil is even patented. Rituals Essentials for Women 18 Plus is one of the few women's multivitamin multis that's USP verified, meaning what's on the label is what's in the formula. It's also soy-free, gluten-free, vegan-friendly, and formulated without GMOs. A minty essence in each bottle keeps things fresh and helps make taking your multi every day actually enjoyable. Instead of striving for perfect health, aim for supporting foundational health. Great news, Ritual is offering our listeners 10% off during your first 3 months. Visit ritual.com/argue to start Ritual or add Essential for Women 18 Plus to your subscription today. Again, visit ritual.com/argue to start Ritual or add Essential for Women's 18 Plus to your subscription today. What's up, everybody?
What's happening, family?
And welcome back to another episode of
Is This Gonna Cause an Argument?
My name is Angel Lakita Moore, Angel Tanksley, also known as that chick Angel. Boom, 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 that chick Angel. You like it slow and you like it hard. And that's what I'm here to give you. I'm joined by my husband, the debonair, the sexy, the beast of a man, who's also the co-host of this podcast. Tell him who you are, baby.
I'm Marcus Tanksley, a.k.a. Tank, the other host of Is This Gonna Cause an Argument?
That's right.
Hey, fam, if this is your first time tuning in, we greatly appreciate it. It's a podcast me and my wife do every single goddamn week, and we talk about family stuff. We talk about world stuff. We talk about our kids, our Tanksley Pride, which is our 4 sons. We talk about our family, your family, relationships, whatever we feel like. And we are also joined also by our sponsors. You already heard from one, but we are joined by our sponsors. We greatly appreciate them.
I'll tell you about who our other sponsors are. Tell them about who's here with us now, though.
I'm going to tell them about who's here right now. That's the immediate family.
Yeah, usually you don't talk about the sponsors.
I know. I was switching it up. Just like you switched it up. I was about to celebrate, like, yes. Anyway, we are joined by our wonderful immediate family. Those are the people on Patreon. They watch us film this live every single week, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. We call them an immediate family because we are like family. You can be a part of that Patreon. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/thatchickangel and sign up for the low of $5 a month. And it's even less if you pay up for the year. And like I said, they got their comments coming in right now. They talked about stuff that we talked about before the podcast, and we're going to keep it going.
Yeah, we are. And the wonderful sponsors that Marcus is talking about, you heard about Ritual already. We also have ZocDoc, Hello Fresh and Better Help. Now, the thing about our wonderful sponsors is that they all offer amazing services, goods, or products. So we ask that if you hear of a service or good or product that you are like, I've been wanting to get something like this, that you use our coupon code, promo code, or our link so that they know that when you shop or patronize them, that we sent you there. That is a way that you can support our podcast without spending money that you didn't already plan on spending. So we thank our sponsors in advance, and we thank you for giving them a try.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about why I sound this way. Because I sound terrible.
You don't sound that bad. You sound like you lost your voice a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be real awful after this podcast. I can already tell. My voice is already like, didn't we already run a mile? That's what my voice feels like.
Oh.
I do believe I'm going to hopefully get to go to the doctors today after the podcast, or at least do a telehealth, that I have a sinus infection that evolved from when I let pineapple rip my throat up. I think my throat got infected from there. All the phlegm and mucus that was causing to build up then went into my sinuses, and everything now is infected. So my voice is gone. This is not something like, I don't lose my voice if I have a cold. That's not something that gets affected. So I'm over here on the struggle bus. The twins party is where I probably did way too much. It sucked because also I was shooting a television show on Thursday and Friday. So I was talking then, and also, you can't be sick on no set these days. So I was masking all of my symptoms. I was like, I mean, granted, we're COVID tested, so I know I'm COVID free. I've been COVID tested quite a few times, but they still don't want you sick of any kind.
Right.
So,
and this sickness, not that we don't know for sure, Angel's been diagnosing herself, but our household has been sick for like the past month and a half. Between the boys.
Kai, I don't think has been fully healthy in a month.
Yeah, Sai has been coughing. Kai, Amar, his cough ain't really. The only person that ain't been affected so far is a little Marcus.
Yeah, he's up.
But I was sick there for a little while. I was feeling a little something in my throat this morning. I don't know if it was because I was on my back snoring with my mouth open. I meant to ask you, was I snoring?
I don't know. I couldn't hear nothing over my cough.
Oh. Me either.
I was coughing so loud at night.
And then, like I've had these for the past, week and a half. I've been getting these headaches, and I pretty much narrowed it down to my phone because I don't get headaches a lot. But it's kind of went away for the most part, but it's still something lingering just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit. It ain't fully went away. I was looking up symptoms. I'm like, is this meningitis? And I don't know it. Like, man, I don't know what it is, but I notice when I do take a break from my phone, it almost completely goes away.
It also didn't help that on Saturday,
actually, this phone specifically, the iPhone. Go ahead.
I did 3 hours of what's that show I do with Kevin? Here's the Thing.
Yeah, you did.
That didn't help. Like that, you talk about vocal fatigue. From doing that, and then yelling at a loud children's place.
Yeah, that same day.
So I got some hot tea that I'm about to drink while we do this podcast, and that'll help my voice open up. But that's why I sound like this. Hopefully next week I'll sound like my normal self, because this is for the birds. I'll tell you that right now. It's for the birds.
Sacrifice a day or two of no talking.
I'm not sacrificing my money.
Of course, I said a day or two. You ain't on podcast and doing stuff every single day.
Oh, yeah, we're going to see what happens on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. That's what we're going to see.
You ain't got to be FaceTiming and talking to everybody that call you.
I don't be.
Okay.
What? There are people.
What?
You make it seem like I just be talking to everybody. Yesterday, I slept a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to shoot a brand deal.
You was talking at the restaurant? You chose sometimes to whisper, but you were talking.
I did a lot of
ended up talking to your mama.
You always got something.
No, I'm not. I ain't saying nothing negative. I'm saying truly take some vocal rest, because I want you to get better.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Do you really want me to get better?
Yes, I do.
I think you want me to get sicker.
I don't want you to get sicker. Otherwise, I'd be like, hey, when's the last time you talked to someone? So, you know what? Let me call her right there. Let me FaceTime her.
No, that's not what I'm referring to, is get sicker.
Oh, that fever box? Oh, absolutely. I ain't mad at that at all, but you ain't had no fever, so what's the point?
Did y'all ever, have y'all heard Marcus's weird fetish?
Ain't nothing weird.
Yes, it is.
This is great. A great surprise.
Marcus is into me being sick.
I'm not into you being sick.
Okay,
but if you are sick and if you have a fever, your body temperature is up, everything is highly hot and up. You know what I'm saying? Sex is like wrapping yourself in a soft blanket.
Is that right?
But when Angel has a fever, it's like wrapping yourself in a soft blanket that just came out the dryer. See, it's like, oh, great. What's that, like 103? 104, we're going to go to the hospital. But 103, we're going to get it in.
He's got issues. Y'all pray for him.
Fellas, try sometimes. Great.
And then they'll be like, I have pneumonia.
Hey, it'll be worth it.
Well, shut up. Okay. So our first segment today is Tanksley Pride.
Diva Box.
So Marcus, I'll let you start.
My Tanksley Pride. So the twins, as y'all know, this past last week, they turned 8 years old.
Yes, they did.
Which is crazy. The fact that they already 8. But what's also crazy is on their birthday, or maybe on their birthday, you know how your phone sends you memories of photos and stuff and text messages. The Samsung does, sends you like text message pictures and pictures that you take, and it just kind of puts everything in this like collage like once a month. What's crazy is it sent me a big collage of Marcus, our oldest son, little Marcus, and almost every picture that it sent me, it looked like either the twins or Amar.
Yeah. Like
there's one picture, I showed this at the twins party, is little Marcus sitting on a bed with his legs, crisscrossed, with his legs crisscrossed, watching TV, eating some goldfish or something, and it looked just like little Amar. It looked just like Amar. Same facial expression and everything.
If the picture wasn't so grainy, there had been no difference.
Yeah.
You can just tell the picture was taken a long time ago.
Right. But watching them just interact with all these friends and seeing them, it is crazy. It's crazy remembering, seeing where they are and remembering being there. Mm-hmm. Like I can remember my 8th birthday, I remember my 7th birthday. I remember things that I was doing at the time. Mm-hmm. I was telling Angel last night, was it Wipeout? Wipeout was on.
Yeah.
I put Wipeout on because they were sitting there eating and they were about to go to bed because they all it was getting late. And as it was on or whatever, and they said, $50,000, and the twins was like, $50,000? I remember going to visit my granny, and what was that show? Price is Right will come on. They always got the announcer, you can win, blah, blah, blah. And I remember as I was a kid, always repeating the announcer or just imitating the announcer saying, $15,000. I remember doing that as a kid, and to hear them, they kept repeating $50,000. I was like, this is crazy. Mm-hmm. This is absolutely crazy.
Hearing yourself back.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
But that's my pride story. I just got memories and realization, I guess. I don't know.
My Tanksley Pride story, and I thought you were going to take it. If you would have, I would have been.
We ain't been here.
Yeah.
We took last week off.
But no, it just
I'm about to talk through it because you should be on vocal rest. Guess what happened?
No. And it just happened. It just happened Friday.
Was it? It was Friday. Okay.
As you all know, we, Marcus and Angel, have been putting in work at our oldest son's current
I'm
school.
talking about putting in work.
We have been putting in volunteer hours. We have been stretching ourselves, doing things at the school that we might not feel as comfortable, helping with fundraisers, being there to support activities.
You talk about stepping out of your shell. I be leaving my shell at the house.
Like when I told the ladies at the twins party, and we're going to talk more about the party too, at the twins party, about the perception that the school has of you, they were like, who is that?
Exactly.
I was like, they love Marcus more than they love me, okay? And I'm a lovable type of parent.
Oh, I'm Mr. Popular.
They love Marcus.
Because I'm like, I got to get my boys in this school.
Because one thing I know is that, especially with the private school, they are not just selecting a student. They are selecting a family.
Yeah. Because
private schools are not federally funded. It is very much so on the mercy of the donors and the parents to be able to make the school successful and thrive. So we were going through the process originally of getting our last 3 children in. We decided to take Amar out of the running to go to the school because the grade level that he would have been entering in, which is TK, they offer no financial aid. And I think I've mentioned this before, just in case you don't know, and you can chime in whenever you want to, baby. If you've ever thought about wanting to send your child to an independent school because you feel like it would be a better fit for your child, most of these schools offer financial aid.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the tuition is not attainable for the regular
It's
family.
college tuition. It really is, per child.
Little Marcus's high school tuition is more expensive than what it was for me to go to the University of Kentucky, which is no small school.
Yeah. And Amar's tuition would have been, what was it, like only $2,000 or $3,000?
It was more than 2 or 3. It was like $15,000 less, but that is still
Marcus's is still way up there.
Yeah, it was astronomical.
And I'm like, for TK to learn shapes and colors?
It was just going to be it wasn't going to be smart. Y'all would have been seeing me doing all types of brand deals that were unsavory to pay for.
Yeah. I've talked to people that go to that school that are putting their children in that early program that Amar was going in. And these people make our money and the money of all of our friends look like, oh, you're doing okay.
Yeah.
And one of the women was like, I wake up in cold sweats at night thinking about that. It's like not a small number.
Like they're the type of people who would have invented the cameras that were recording this.
Right. Like that last name is Cannon.
Right.
And it ain't Nick. The Nikon family.
Right. It'd be that type of money. So we pulled Amar out of the running because they don't offer financial aid and it was just going to be too costly. So we were just like, all right, we're just going to try for the twins. And we realistically, so y'all, if you've been following us for a while, know that the twins have been through a lot in their education already.
Mm-hmm.
They entered TK right before the pandemic. The pandemic interrupted their TK experience. Then they did all of kindergarten, which is like one of the most important grades, all through the pandemic.
Right.
All virtual. Then they went to another virtual school.
I'm sorry, one of the twins didn't have a teacher for a long time. The other twin, once they did get a teacher, was trash.
That was the second virtual school.
Yeah, second virtual school. I mean, they've went through it. So when they went to go back in person, they had to catch up.
Yeah, they had intervention classes after school. And we also have them in Kumon. So they've been doing a lot of work to be
Kumon, for those who didn't hear it. Just in case your voice.
Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Actually, before I finish the story, I'm going to cut to our next sponsor, one of my favorites that I'm actually about to use today for this crazy voice of mine, and that is ZocDoc. Listen to my voice. This is not normal. I don't have to ask the question, is this normal? Okay, I, like you, have been stewing over this health problem that I have. You might have been doing the same thing. Listen, now I know some of y'all will resort to texting your group chat and get your friend's opinion. There's others of us that will think they can get their doctor from Google. And I'm not talking about getting a real doctor. I'm talking about self-diagnosing yourself via a bunch of different medical journals. This is no longer what you need to do, okay? Thousands of medical professionals on ZocDoc are there to help you and me because, listen, they're getting hit up today. They listen like a friend and give you expert care that you need, okay? Because you shouldn't be getting advice from your medical group, okay? Nor should you be self-diagnosing yourself. Excuse me. You want to be able to have somebody that is exceptionally good at what they do, and you can find that at ZocDoc. Because with ZocDoc, finding a doctor that's right for you is seamless. The quality care you need is just a few taps away on the ZocDoc app. Excuse me. Not only are you able to find someone that takes your insurance, because that's super duper important. You also able to find someone who is available when you actually need them. So if you're sick now and they can't see you for another 2 weeks, what's that going to do? You need somebody that fits with your schedule. ZocDoc helps you do that. And then you get actual patient reviews. People who have actually seen this doctor that can tell you exactly what they're like, what their bedtime manner is like, how was their experience, so that you can find someone that fits the type of doctor that you want. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. Go to ZocDoc.com/argue and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/argue. ZocDoc.com/argue. And we are back. So we knew that there was a chance that they, even though at their school, at their public school, which is academically accelerated, they had caught up. They both are actually doing great.
Yeah.
Still, a lot of private schools are even more accelerated. So I was like, I'm not really sure how they will fall in. And even some of the ways that they teach or the things that they're teaching are different than what they're being taught at their school.
Right.
And they're at a really good school. So this is not to knock their school.
Yeah. Luckily, the schools, like, they understand that.
Yeah.
Like, they take a test and they just see how the children think and where they are.
Yeah.
And, like, it was one question after the test, you know, we're riding home. It was like, how did you do after the assessment? We're like riding home, and they both had the same question because I think they were talking about it. And I think they both answered the question in two completely different ways. But even if their answer was wrong, them figuring out the thing would probably help them as like they understood, oh, they actually understand this. Yeah. It's just they read it differently.
I think they were either doing multiplication, division, or exponents. It was something that I was just like, well,
which is crazy for that. Hey, like,
right.
God dang.
I was like, okay then. Well, it was square. Yeah, it was squared, I think.
Yeah.
It was something where I was just like, and one of them did like the square root and the other one did the square of.
At the age of 7.
They somehow figured it out.
I don't do it now.
And I'm pretty sure the only thing that got one of them or the other one confused was possibly whatever the words were on the page. But the fact that they were able to figure out the operation, I was like, well, hopefully you'll get points for it. So, you know, I tried to be realistic with them because when we went to the assessment, there were so many third grade interest families.
There was a lot.
I thought we were being clever. You feel me? I was like, we're not going to go during an entry year so that they have less competition.
Yeah.
Boom. Not realizing this school, third grade is actually an entry year, which is uncommon. So there was it was
packed in there.
At that one assessment, there was like 20 families. I was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
I was like.
That was just at that one. They had multiple days and multiple times.
I said, oh, my black babies. But I had been realistic with the twins. I said, yo, if y'all don't get in, we'll try again for 6th grade. And they were like, what if one of us gets in and the other one doesn't? I said, neither one of y'all are going. I was like, they either got to take both of y'all or neither
all
one
or
of
nothing.
Y'all. So their decision day was March 10th, the twins' birthday, at 5 p.m.
See, I didn't know it was 5 p.m.
Yeah, it was at 5.
I'm all day refresh. Angel was at work.
I was on set.
I'm me, refresh.
And luckily my lunch break is more like a dinner break, was right before 5 o'clock. It was at like 4:40. So I was like, perfect. I could be in my trailer so that if it just don't go the way I want it to go, I can cuss and cry in here. And if it does go well, I can shout. And of course, I don't have great reception. So my email stops updating. I was like, son of a God, at 5 o'clock. So I go into the portal. And the portal where you do all your application stuff, where you submit your forms and their transcripts and all that stuff.
You see the classes, it's everything dealing with the school. It's all the virtual stuff.
So when you're in the application process, it tells you what else you have to submit. And that's pretty much it. During the decision process, it changed. And I saw, even though Marcus got to see the letters.
Look, I didn't know it was coming in at 5. I'm refreshing at 4:59, 5 o'clock. Them emails came in at 5:01 and 5:02. And I was refreshing I was like, there you go. Open that. No, let me make sure it says, you know, we were excited to have you here. However, right. I was make sure. Hey, he's in. Refresh. Kai. Hey, he's in. Angel.
So he's seeing that. I'm seeing, please complete your enrollment package. And I was like, enrollment package? Just don't say application. Just say enrollment. And I was able, not only did our babies get in, I had said, based off of our finances, I was really trying to figure out what number really made sense that we could pay for all 3 of our kids to come.
Yeah, because they look at all that. They look like they comb tooth through all your finances like the IRS.
They want to know where your money's going.
Everything we gave the IRS, we had to give them.
They want to know where all the money is going.
They like, a fleet, huh? Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Listen, they know about y'all, Patreon.
Yeah, they know about y'all.
They were like, and what is coming from there?
YouTube. It looks like you do pretty well over there.
Right. They needed to know where everything was coming
from. Because it's a brand deal? All right.
So I had a number in my mind that I was just like, I really needed not to go over this number.
But wait, go ahead. We asked advice because we got no people.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to say the number.
You ain't going to say
No,
it?
absolutely not.
We was like, you tell them what? We tell them.
Right.
We were like, because we didn't want to insult them and be like, oh, y'all niggas is crazy. Get out.
Right. Because the thing is, when you're filling out the financial aid process, that thing is it was so stressful for me to fill out, for Marcus to fill out. It was just, I was like, I understand what they asking. So they ask at the end, how much do you feel like your family can feasibly pay for tuition? Mm-hmm. And so I knew what my cap was for us and me to feel like we were doing the right thing and that we weren't going to put ourselves in a financial bind. And when we got our package, the financial aid was right under the number I had in my head. And I was like, to God be the glory.
Yeah, because last thing you want to do is like them making an effort to, because they saw that like these, hopefully a lot of private schools are starting to see that it's extremely biased toward wealthy, which in this country was going to gear toward white and, families that were foreign that are now here. Yeah. So now they see we got people that live right here that can't do this, and it's kind of set up against them. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, all right, let's make an effort and start reaching out to these minority families, these families of color, black and brown. Yeah. So somebody said, what's the black discount? The black discount is them acknowledging that they need more black families.
And it's not, listen, trust and believe, don't think it's just black families asking for money.
Oh, no,
and not
everybody.
All black and there are black families that are paying full tuition because there are black families that got some wealth up in that school.
They sent their thing in. They were just like, no, you can pay and donate.
Okay. So
match your tuition with some donations.
It's both. In California specifically, because I can't really speak to any other state, they realize that it gives them more cachet to have a more diverse student body. So they make extra efforts to recruit families. And it's not just...
She all right, y'all. She's all right. She is okay.
Excuse me. It is not just like I said, like in LA, there are black families with loads of wealth.
At this school, there are families. Not rich, wealth is different.
Y'all, a lot of people who have never been to California have heard of the private school Sierra Canyon. That's another one of those schools where there are black families that don't need a handout, and on top of that can donate a substantial amount of money. So it's not just about like how much money can we give to black families to come here, even though this black family definitely needed it. But it not every black family that got accepted or that is at that school is receiving financial aid. So we don't take it lightly. We're so excited. The twins, we let them read their acceptance letters. Eventually, once I edit it, I'm going to put it on Instagram. They are so excited. A huge shout out, even though she doesn't watch this podcast, to Kai and Sai's teacher. Mm-hmm. She wrote...
Their current teacher.
She wrote them phenomenal recommendation letters. She was so sad when we told her we were taking them out of public school, out of their school in particular, because she sees them as such amazing students, and they are. Like, wow, yes, Marcus and I have done the work to make our family.
Sorry, I was actually looking for this big ass.
Marcus and I have done the work to make our family attractive. Kai and Sai have done the work to be attractive students because they are so well mannered. They're both very eager to learn. And like I said, it was not easy to make it happen. But we are ecstatic. And who's most ecstatic is little Marcus.
Little Marcus.
Yeah, he's excited to have his brothers at his
school. So you excited your brothers to go? Yeah.
He's so super excited. So no longer will I have to wake up my kids at 6 a.m.
I know.
Won't come fall. They're going to get to wake up at normal times. Amen. Yeah. And they're going to get to do extra.
Somewhat normal commute. Extracurricular activities. They've been wanting to do taekwondo. Yeah. They've been wanting to play the sports and stuff. And it's just like, nah, y'all got Kumon. Y'all got tutoring. Y'all got homework. And it's like by the time they get home from a full day.
Yeah. And their current elementary school doesn't have sports. Their new elementary school does. They'll be able to do soccer or basketball. Or there's another one. I think it might be swimming.
Soccer, or baseball.
No, I don't.
Maybe. I think you're right. I think
it's soccer, basketball, and swimming for their age group.
Yeah.
So, and this is like a part of the tuition. Like we don't have to pay extra for them to participate in these sports. So,
what's crazy is a lot of that stuff they work into the school day.
Yeah, yeah. Little Marcus has his first track meet today. What?
He does. Which makes no sense to me.
He just started track.
They just started.
Like a week and a half ago or last week.
I was like, ain't no way y'all conditioned yet. Like, but we'll see.
So we only have to do this one more time. And that is for Mr. Amar.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see how that goes.
Now, we can't let them get to know him. Hopefully he changes.
But
because Sai had a temper. He used to have a temper.
He had the worst temper. Sai had a temper
Actually, he was worse than
Amar.
Amar's, yeah. And he's now a little sweet little boy.
But Amar did great during the family interview.
He did.
We were like, "Who is this?"
Playing with.
They said hello. He said hello back. They said, "Can you show us what you made?" He told them, and they said it's so nice. He was like, "Thank you."
Mm-hmm.
He coughed and said, "We were like, who is this?"
He's shaking our head at us like, you fools don't know me.
I was like, when did you get your SAG card, little boy?
Oh, ye of little faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have no faith in you.
No reason for us to have faith.
We have no faith in you, sir. Before we jump into our next segment, this is going to be so Tanksley Pride, but it's because our babies just had their birthday. Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about the birthday party. Is it time for the next ad? So before we do that, I want to tell you about two more sponsors that we love. They are HelloFresh and BetterHelp.
Absolutely.
With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. March is National Nutrition Month, and HelloFresh makes it easy to choose delicious dietitian-approved meals. Simply look for the Dietitian Win tag on their menu choices for meals under 700 calories and with 1/3 less sodium. Now, something else that you're able to really get into is that delicious meals are a cinch with HelloFresh chef-created, chef-crafted seasonal recipes that come with ingredients already pre-portioned, so all you have to do is cook and enjoy. HelloFresh is a staple in our home. We cook from the HelloFresh menu every single week, whether it be some amazing quesadillas, some fantastic ravioli, or maybe it's some couscous-based meal, or of Southwest shrimp tacos. There's so many things to love and so many things that you'll love. Our family enjoys not only eating them, but preparing them. We prepare them as a family, and it makes dinner time even more special for us. And also, I'm saving money and time. You cannot beat that, and that is why we are fans and loyal to HelloFresh. So go to HelloFresh.com/argue60 and use code argue60 for 60% off plus free shipping. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/argue60 and use code argue60 for 60% off plus free shipping. It's HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Now, also, before we go back into the podcast, I want to let you know that this episode is sponsored by our friends at BetterHelp. Getting to know yourself can be a lifelong process, especially because we're always growing and changing. The 18-year-old me is very different than the 42-year-old me. And I'm sure when I get to 62, I'm going to be looking like a different person. Similar, but some major changes will happen. Worldview changes. And just how life has informed those point of views really don't happen until you experience life. Therapy is all about deepening your self-awareness and understanding. Because sometimes we don't know what we want or why we react the way we do until we talk things through. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. I recently had a unexpected loss in my career that really had me so bummed. It had me frustrated, and I was having a hard time figuring out what to do with those emotions and how to process them. Now, mind you, I've gone through this before, but now as a 42-year-old entrepreneur, it was sitting in me differently. It was sitting me in a way that I was just like, I want to take this information that my body is giving me and do something with it instead of just sulking in my sadness, which, sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. And my therapist, in just a voice note, was able to give me so much clarity and help me reframe the disappointment that I was having and help me recommit myself to what my beliefs and values are so that I wouldn't lose track of that. That's something that it is priceless to be able to have that type of help when you are going through this journey that we call life. If you are thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch a therapist at any time at no additional cost. Discover your potential with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/argue today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/argue. And we're back, and we are still talking about our kids. We haven't even gotten into the main topic. I haven't even gotten talking about Angela Bassett. This is just, listen,
y'all gonna have to deal with it because we proud over here of these boys.
Yes, we are. So we threw this daggone birthday party at this center. It was way too expensive. Listen, now that we're about to pay tuition, this is their education is their party.
Happy birthday! Go to school, look around, enjoy it.
They had a blast. Kai's little friend, don't say her name. I gotta make sure I remember not to say her name. She attended the party. This girl was dressed so stinking cute. I gotta send you the picture that you never got to see of. I'm talking to Victory now, of them at the Sweethearts dance.
Yeah.
And her mom, who's super cool.
Her mom actually knows one of our friends.
Yeah.
They said now. I was like, wait. They was like, oh my God, such a small world.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like the fact that they showed up, this little girl was just like, I want to be like, is the mama doing this or was the little girl doing this? Because she was like, her hair, she had the hair down, what they call ponytails.
Oh, yeah, too long
ponytails. Braids. Looked like her face was beat. I mean, she a pretty little girl. She could have just been her face. But I said, look at her.
She was dressed, her whole outfit was cute. And so everybody was finally putting two and two together. And I was telling my girlfriends, because they were like, oh, that's the little girl. They were like, I was like, yeah. They were like, oh, is that his girlfriend? I said, that is his friend. And the mama had left out, and when she came back in, I said, oh, I was telling them about the Valentine's Day gift. She said, girl, my daughter came home. That was
hilarious.
And was like, pulling the Valentine's out the thing. She was like, Kai got me this Bluetooth speaker. She said, did you get anything for Valentine's Day, Mom?
She said, what did you get?
And he got me this.
She kept pulling stuff out. Was like, did you get anything? Because he gave me this.
And she was like, are you done? She was like, no. And he got me this. She's like, okay, girl, you can leave me alone. I said, oh, not that she's flexing on her mama.
We told her about the first package.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, my God.
Just pulling random stuff. She's like, oh, yeah, girl. She was definitely.
Angel said, I told people at the party, because Angel asked the little girl, I think y'all heard this already. She asked him, why do you like her so much? He was like, oh, because she's nice to me, this, and that. And Angel was like, oh, yeah, that's good. That's great. But don't be taking stuff out of my house, giving it to this
little girl. Stop grocery shopping in my house to feed your friend.
Yeah, he was in the pantry just clearing the shelf off into his bag.
But yeah, she was even talking about they were So they were playing a lot together. Kai was playing with his guy friends, and he was playing with her a lot too.
Yeah, they did a good job of separating their attention.
Yeah,
that's always my concern. Make sure you talking to everybody.
Right. And the mom was like, they just out there giggling. And she's like, I'm over there like, what y'all giggling about? She's like, she said her daughter was like, nothing. She's like, no, I want to know. I want to laugh.
Yeah, I want to laugh too.
I want to laugh too. I want to laugh. But it was crazy. And it was so all my girlfriends, when they realized, they were like, oh, okay. Because the little girl is just gorgeous as she wants to be. But they had the time of their life at this party.
It was great. It was all the parents was cool. Well, most of the parents, two sets. I was like, they kind of stayed out of the room, but most of the parents was all the parents seemed like they had a good time though. Like everybody, it was a good time.
Yeah,
but that place is trash. We ain't never going back.
We were there from 6:30. The party, first of all, was an adult party. We were there from 6:30 to 10.
Yeah,
we make sure we got our goddamn money's worth. Period. But this is a place that didn't want to offer water.
All of this money going down, we ain't gonna give the number, but it was way too high. They got kids running and jumping, playing, sweating, having the time of their life. They don't have water fountains. Only way you can get water is if you purchase water. And if you're having a party, you have to purchase the room that's expensive enough for you to get the water package.
No, you can no. You just have to buy each bottle of water for $2 a bottle. So I was like, based off of how many people we're going to have, I was like, well, I need 30 bottles of water. So I paid $60 for water because I would have bought little cheap cups, Pokemon cups, had the kids put their name on it that they could take with them, and they would have just used the water fountain. They would have had San Fernando Valley's finest water from the fountain. I wouldn't have paid $2 a bottle.
Even Chuck E. Cheese give you tap water. All right, come on. Tap water with some ice on it.
And then I saw they had...
What's the name of the goddamn place?
Why you want to say it?
Because they trash. People need to know not to go there.
We're going to give them a good Yelp review.
Oh, yeah, off the wall Yelp review. Got it. Off the wall. Game Zone.
I was saying that I was going to do the Yelp review. I was saying...
I know. You do the Yelp review.
I wasn't going to say the name.
No, they trash. People need to know.
Did you go off on them?
When I got up there, it's pointless to go off.
That's why I thought you would go call and go off.
It would have been one of them idiots in there working. I don't know them people. They ain't idiots. They ain't make the rules. But the person that did make the rules wasn't there. Because I said, no, I'm gonna talk to him in person. When I got up there and seen the environment, I was like, it's pointless.
It's a mess. All right. I'm about to have a coughing fit, so give me a second.
Well, what's next?
What's next? It feels like it's me dying.
You ain't gonna die. I got you. I got CPR certified, girl.
Is that still
Go over here, babe.
good?
What you doing? You about to kill yourself. We're gonna have to get up.
Thank you.
Trying to avoid these cameras. You ain't gonna tell me so I can just keep it going?
Well, you don't know enough information about it. Angela Bassett got played.
Angela Bassett got played, y'all, apparently. I didn't see it.
So I usually actually don't watch any of the award shows unless it's usually the black geared ones I might watch. But overall, I typically do not watch the award shows. Excuse me. They're too long, and I don't watch half of the films that they are giving awards to.
Yeah, the Oscars, that's a whole different thing right there.
So when I watched Wakanda Forever, y'all know I gave it a 7 out of 10. Of course, everybody said I was anti-black and that I hate everything. I don't care. My favorite part of the movie was Angela Bassett. Period. She is 6.5 out of the 7 points that I gave. Okay. Mm-hmm. The first couple of minutes where she does her speech in the courtroom. As soon as that speech was finished, I was like, she better be up for an Oscar. And I literally said that when I watched the movie. Yeah. It was so riveting. It was so good. And this is a Marvel movie. This is not a biopic where we're watching Coretta Scott or, right. Betty Shabazz, where we're like, oh, you're connecting to this real life person. This is a fictional person who births kids that become Panthers.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. So, she hasn't been a real contender for an Oscar since What's Love Got to Do with It? and where she got snubbed for Best Actress then. She won a bunch of awards on the way up because it's like the road to the Oscars. You got the is it the Emmys? You've got the Golden Globes. You got the SAG Awards. And usually you kind of get to know who's going to win in that category based off of how those things go.
Yeah.
Well, there was another movie that came out last year. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Yeah.
Mostly Asian cast with primary cast, with the exception of Jamie Lee Curtis. I watched that movie on the plane. Did you watch that movie?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was interesting. It was different than anything I had ever seen. Like, it was kind of fantasy. Y'all know I love some fantasy. But it wasn't like, oh my God, it gets no better than this.
Hold up. Jamie Lee Curtis got it over Angela Bassett?
Yes.
From that movie?
Yes. Yes. So.
No. Look. Ain't nothing wrong with Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm a Jamie Lee Curtis fan, but she was the equivalent to the architect in Matrix. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's why I'd be like, man, fuck these, forget these award shows.
And listen, you done already messed up throughout this podcast. So
why? Because I said called out Game Zone?
No. You don't even hear yourself when you be cussing and saying in the
What I say? I said it once before. I just said it one time. I stopped. No, I didn't. That's trash. That is trash.
Well,
That's MAGA trash. Like, right in your face. You know exactly what it is.
I honestly knew more than likely she wasn't going to win coming out of the Golden Globes. That's when I saw how much Hollywood was on the nuts of everything, everywhere, all at once. I was like, oh, they really into this movie in a way that I just didn't understand. These are the categories that I would understand that movie winning. I can understand how it would win. Best Actress. The older Asian lady, she been in this industry for a long time. I would have been like, all right, she did win. She won for Best Actress. Angela was for Best Supporting Actress against Jamie Lee Curtis. I understood that. Cinematography, I would have understood because they did some really interesting things. I can also understand for screenplay because it was such a different concept. So whoever wrote it, their mind is doing something different. You know what I'm saying? Those are the categories that I could understand being like, all right, it's Oscar time. I did not think Angela was going to lose to Jamie. I thought she was going to lose to the younger Asian girl.
Mm-hmm.
I would have still been mad, but I would have been like, these Asians don't be winning nothing. When it comes to the Oscars, we be talking about Oscars so white and relating to blackness. Them Asians, they be like, right, move on to the left.
Yeah, but they got their own thing they be doing.
What's their own thing?
The Asian Film Festival and like that whole.
So do we, but.
I bet it ain't like theirs. Technically, it's more of them. So.
But true, like, so that woman who won for Best Actress, she's the first Asian woman to ever win.
Really?
Yes. So once I saw how Hollywood was so accepted, especially the little boy from Indiana Jones, Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
When he started winning
for
Best Actor or Best Supporting Actor, I can't remember. I was like,
I think it's solely his story that's helping him win.
Well, in them, him crying.
Right.
These are
that was the NAACP content winner right there.
Him crying his face off, right? I was like, oh, this is just building even more momentum for them. So I kind of knew going into the Oscars, as much as I wanted Angela to win, that the likelihood would be slim. I just never in a million years thought Jamie Lee Curtis was the person she was going to lose. Yes.
Yeah,
I was like, nah.
Jamie Lee Curtis is great, but that role didn't require Oscar-winning performance.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? This is my thing. This is with the Oscars, mainly the Oscars, but all these award shows, but mainly the Oscars. Y'all, we go through this bullshit every year. Everybody's always mad every single goddamn year because the Oscars gonna snub somebody. Look, that little room of people, they're gonna keep doing this because the people that they got winning, they're giving these awards to, look just like them, and they're gonna always look like. How you get on the board to vote who wins?
You have to be a part of the academy.
You got to be a part. How you be a part of the academy?
That I don't know. I think you're automatically a part if you've won an Oscar, but there's another way. You are in the academy. I do believe is invitation only.
Invitation only. So there you have it.
I could be wrong though, but I think it's invitation only.
There you have it. I'm pretty sure if I wanted to be a Klan member today, there ain't nothing I can do to get in there unless they be like, "Yeah, we want him in." That is not going to happen. The Oscars will continue to do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, ignore this bullshit.
I truly feel this is. I'm just going to do a quick little love letter to Angela Bassett real quick. I have had the blessing and the pleasure to actually meet my hero, right? Mm-hmm. Growing up wanting to be an actress, Angela Bassett has been my North Star since I could remember. Even though she's not a comedic actress, which is one of the things that I love to do, when I thought about acting, I wasn't thinking about comedic actress. I was thinking about just being a serious actress, Shakespearean, just someone who was a true thespian. So when I was working on ER, and in my second season, they brought Angela Bassett on as one of the new cast members. To actually get to work with her was like, well, this is the master class that, you know, you can't. How do you even?
Yeah. No, we were both losing our mind. Angel lost her mind when she got that news, and I lost mine just as crazy.
I did. I went to casting and said, you all need to forewarn me sooner so I know how to act appropriately when you have royalty working on this show. So that was one thing, just being able to work with her. But it's another thing to be able to be in her presence and it not be for work, and to realize how beautiful of a human being she is and how down to earth. This woman has every right to have her nose up in the air, okay, and to look at all of us like peasants, and we take it. She was, it is such a gracious, just God-fearing, God-loving woman. Her and Courtney are just a beautiful example of Black love.
They, just being around them, you feel a warm embrace. That's how nice they are, both of them.
Very, very, very nice. And while, yes, Black people will always love Angela, I can understand the want and the need to also be honored by your peers, the peers that you've worked around and worked in the same industry with for over 4 decades for her. And to know that your work is considered excellent. So while I know that their validation is not needed, we all know what it is, but also that validation should still happen because it changes your network. It changes the opportunities that you have coming down the line. And Angela Bassett is not sitting on her butt, not doing anything.
Right.
Like, she
be out here working.
She be out here working. She has to fight for the, roles that she wants. She has to show up in a way because it's always going to be different for Black actresses than it is white actresses. So I just cannot thank her enough for not quitting, because this career, I be wanting to quit over small stuff.
I be wanting her to quit
over small stuff.
I told her, well, I hate your career passionately because these people are trash. They so fickle. It's such a fickle industry. It's just like,
it is.
End it, cancel it, and start over.
It is. But she's one of the best to ever do it, and she's definitely my number one. When I talk about actresses that I'm like, yes, her career is something I know I no longer can like emulate. But when I think about people who, when I watch, I'm just like, well, go ahead, do what you're doing then. Yes, Angela is my number one. So while I am sad that she didn't get to take home the Oscar, fact of the matter is she's still the dopest out there, with or without it. So.
Yeah.
That's my flowers to her.
Ditto.
All right. Finally to segment number 2.
What?
We only done segment 1.
That's all right.
Marriage games.
We had to talk about our kids.
Marriage games,
I got
baby.
3 minutes.
Oh, shoot. Guess we don't have that to talk about. God dang.
How long we been going? Did we meet the...
I mean, once I do the ads, we'll be...
Okay.
We'll be there.
Angel can keep talking. I got set up for this meeting.
You set up, and I'll talk about something else.
All right. Victory.
Get out of the thing. If you got to set up for your meeting, set up for the meeting. I'm telling you what to do. Get up out of this. Shoot. Okay. So, anyways, let's talk more about the Oscars because that's something Marcus can't talk about. Were there any other Oscar? Actually, you know what we could do? I could do comment of the week, and I can also do question of tank our advice. Hey, oh, yeah. So, comment of the week, for those of you all who don't know, is where we pull a comment from one of our previous episodes that me and Marcus both loved or we just appreciate. We appreciate all of them. So trust and believe. Our last episode, if you didn't get a chance to watch, was with our son Marcus. One of my favorites. Y'all know I love that boy to death. Sorry. Jesus. I am just, y'all hear how sick I am. This is so terrible. So anyways, we had a comment of the week for last week's episode, and it was from Lisa Rich Burge 4796. She says, thank you for this dyslexia definition. This explains so much for my son who used to daily put his shirt on inside out and backwards, and you described his reading to a T. He's an adult now, and I'm going to encourage him to seek help because he still struggles with reading and writing. I actually had a reading diagnostician evaluate him, and she assessed that he was behind but never diagnosed dyslexia. This was very helpful. Heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji. I'm glad there was actually quite a few comments like that under last week's episode of how talking about and being transparent about us getting our children assessed and diagnosed with their learning disabilities. Excuse me. And the reason why I am transparent with certain things is because I do not take lightly the effect that transparency has on other people in their walk in life. It is sometimes very hard to go through things by yourself, and it's easy to feel like you're the only person going through certain things, and it's sometimes hard to navigate it that way. It feels like you're kind of navigating a dark road that there's no light, so you don't know if you're taking the wrong step. You don't know if you're going off of the path that'll lead you to the outcome that you really want. So it's helpful when other people shine a light on the path that they've taken. Not to say that everybody has to take the same path, but it does, I feel like, help. I know when I was diagnosed with alopecia, the first thing I did was start like looking at other people's journeys, finding out what worked for some people and what worked for others. There were things that worked for other people that did not work for me. So we share certain journeys that we have with our kids and that we have with each other and that we have personally as a way, at least for me, I'll speak for myself, as a way to be of service to other people, because we're not supposed to be living in a vacuum. While everybody don't need to know all your business, amen. We're not supposed to be living in a vacuum where we have kept our lives so private that we suffer in silence with something that we ain't even got to suffer with. But we wouldn't know that because we ain't talking about it, right? So, anyways, that is the comment of the week. I know we're going backwards. And then we have the question of the week from Jenna Harris. Is that 1 o'clock?
It's at 1.
That's what I have in my calendar.
Me too. But I double checked, and she wrote, even though I said 11, she wrote, yes, 1 PSC.
So I saw it in my calendar as one, but when you told
it's in
me
my calendar as
11:30.
11:30. When I saved it, it has me look right here. Look at that.
Marcus is back because the scheduling was all.
Look, that's from hers.
From whose?
From her when I saved it. I mean,
yeah, I have one, and that's from them directly into my calendar. So, anyway, Marcus is back. I just wasn't gonna question it because I was like, I thought it was
me.
one.
Yeah, me and Victory both get 11:30.
All right, back to question of the week. Oh God, this
What
is
is
going to
it?
be just the most choppiest, confusing episode. No, this is we're closing out.
Yeah.
We close it out.
I ain't put my
Question
hand
of the week. Jenna Harris says, since you flew Marcus out and y'all built a life here, how do you plan financially to make that happen? Wait a minute, hold on. Let me read again. Since you flew Marcus out and y'all built a life here, how did you plan financially to make that happen? I ask because we think of moving. I kind of want to plan like Kevin did. Okay, well, you also got to kind of understand with that question, Jenna, is that me and Marcus's situation completely different than Kevin and Melissa's when we moved. Marcus and I were still not married, nor did we have children. So we could afford for things not to go as well in the very beginning. I was working a temp job. Marcus was working in Kentucky. Did you save up money before you moved?
Yeah, I saved up money. And what's crazy is and it was difficult for me because right before after I made the decision to move out here, I had like 3 really good opportunities for career-wise that came down the pipeline.
Mm-hmm. But he wanted to get to that fever box. So.
Yeah, I had it before. I said, you know what?
He wanted to put his pipeline elsewhere, but hey. So.
No.
So we had a nice amount of room for error. I knew that with me working temp, I could cover my portion of the bills. And like right after he moved out, I started working on ER. So that also.
Yeah, we found that out on the way here driving.
No. I was working on the audition on the way.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It was after. Yeah. You were working on the audition.
I remember. Real quick aside, Marcus was helping me. We've always had a journey. He's really good with helping me with my sides now. But originally, we struggled. In the word that Marcus was supposed to read.
What was it?
Derriere.
What did I keep? Diarrhea. That's what I kept saying. I remember now.
He was like,
I knew it was diarrhea. And every time I ran past that diarrhea, he got a nice diarrhea.
Every time. And I was like, Marcus, you have to get it right or I'm going to laugh in my audition because I'm going to hear your voice in my head. Yes, I loved it. Diarrhea.
He's got a nice diarrhea. It went on for like 11, 13 takes.
I was like, oh dear God. So I had in my head a certain amount of time that Marcus had to get a job. And it was like a couple of months that I had in my head. And I don't think I discussed it with him, but I was just like, I'm going to know if this is going to work or if he going to need to go back from which he came after a couple of months. And your first, you got the selling spa packages first, right?
That was some random crap. It was, I don't know if they were spa massages. Random ass going door to door to these businesses trying to.
You got that before your first job, though, right?
Of course. I feel like it was 2 things. It was definitely the spa thing. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what the other one was. I did it it wasn't even a full day.
Yeah.
But I know I sold 1 or 2 packages and then people owed me money. And I went down there to their office because they wouldn't return my phone calls. And I think they ended up giving me like half of what they were supposed, because they took out commission or something. I don't even remember what the other thing was. But yeah, it was a stressful time. It's just like because I was trying to actually get interviews before I moved out here, but nobody was willing to set up an interview with me because I wasn't actively living here or whatever. Yeah. So no, I could not line anything up.
Not only that, you talking about having to lie. My mother had to help us out because in California, they like, who you work for here?
Right.
And it was just like, well, he doesn't have a job here. So my mother,
like, I'm currently employed here. I'm moving there. Well, give us a call after you move.
You're going to be homeless.
Right.
So my mom had to say that he would have a telecommuting job, a work from home job with her, in order for us to establish that he would have the finances to help pay for the apartment. Right. Like
computer programming and stuff. And that's still on my resume to this day. I ain't took it off. It is still on there. The last job I had, they read right past that. Oh, you did this too? Yep.
Yeah. So, long story short, Jenna, when it comes to renting here, these people plays no games. They're gonna want to see the money that's in your bank account to see how many months worth of rent you can handle if things go awry. If your bank account is low, and they're not looking just for 1 month, they're gonna look at least 3 months of your bank to just see if all of a sudden you just dumped money over there, because that's what people do. They're gonna typically ask for possibly first and last, the last month's rent plus deposit, which is usually like a month of rent.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say, on top of that, they do something new now that they weren't doing when me and Angel was looking to rent. The rent changes daily. So we have a friend, she was looking at a place to rent, and it was one price on this day. She set up an appointment, came to look at it. By the time she went and looked at it, it had jumped up like $550 a month. Yep. On top of what it was already. And so it's almost like it changes depending on what sells in the area. Yeah. Like, they got a house that's sold, how much it sell for? Oh, we can jack the price up over here from day to day.
Yeah. It's terrible, is what I'm trying to say. Now, if you're not moving here, it might not be as bad. But LA is a hard place.
Oh, they said Texas like it too?
Oh, wow. Oh, they do that in Atlanta sometimes.
That's crazy. Yeah, that was news to us. We like, hold up, what?
Because we've been out of the renting arena for close to 20 years now, for 15 years. So we don't know what it's like to rent. So I would just say the more money you have and the more stability you can say you have, the easier it will be to transition here. But you need to have a nice amount of money. After the pandemic, a lot of these rental companies have gotten very, very aggressive with what they ask for, because a lot of there were some people who really did need the payment forgiveness during the pandemic, because there were a lot of people who just could not work and they weren't getting paid. And then there were people who just took advantage of it. Yeah, it's like, I'm not paying you.
Yeah, no, these landlords got hit hard during the pandemic because it's like they were losing money and there wasn't nothing they can do about it. So now they have PTSD from that. So they're like, no, we need to make sure.
Yeah, I mean,
some of them are taking advantage. Just like some of the renters were taking advantage when all that went down.
Even with us, I put our mortgage into like I paused it or whatever because I didn't know what was going to happen. I ended up making all the payments on time, but I was just like, just in case, don't expect nothing from me for the next 3-4 months. Paid every single thing, but like a lot of people didn't know what was going to happen. So
yeah, because I'm like, if we need cash, I'd rather let this house go and have our cash.
But come on,
versus paying a bank that's about to disappear.
So yeah, have that cash flow. Do as much research as possible. Again, I don't know where you're moving, but don't just think about the popping places. Look at the outskirts. Save yourself some money.
Yeah.
There are so many people I know that moved out here. They're like, oh, I'm moving close to Hollywood.
Nah.
I'm moving. And I'm like, you just paying a lot of money for no reason.
You're paying a lot of money for traffic.
And noise.
And noise, yeah. It's loud
dirt.
down there.
Yeah, and dirtiness, I should say.
No, we will never live over that way. Near Hollywood, near the proper LA area. None of that.
Oh, thank you. Oh, she's moving to Charleston, South Carolina. Okay, so it shouldn't be as bad.
That's a little more.
Yeah, I doubt if you'll find what did you just
I was trying to move it over.
Jesus. It probably won't be as aggressive and dictatorish as they are out here. All right. Well, you guys, sorry for we didn't even get to the topic.
That's all right.
But I thought it was still a fun episode. It's a fun episode if you are a fan of our family and you watch our family vlogs, which are on That Chick Angel TV.
Mm-hmm.
We are a few weeks behind, but I'm about to catch up here soon because I'm about to jump footage and get us closer to real time. But if you didn't see, tell them what's coming out every Monday for the next 3 months, babe.
Hey, Tasting with Tank is back, y'all. It's back. I'm going to drop them episodes every Monday for, 13 episodes coming?
For about 3 months.
You know what's funny? Let me go ahead and say this, is how people don't pay attention. Because I dropped the promo little video, kind of let y'all know that it's about a lot of different stuff, and there's still people in the comments talking about, I don't drink, but I'll tune in. Apparently, some people just don't listen to me.
That was one of the big reasons he cut down the promo. There was a part of promo where he went more into talking about liquor, and that was the part of the reason where I was like, cut it out. Yeah. But it's going to be fun. He has a guest every single episode.
Week. It was just going to be just me sometimes, but I'm like, nah, I want a guest every single episode. And we talking about whatever it is that particular person is into and what their taste is in it.
What was your favorite episode to shoot?
I can't say I have a favorite. They were all the funnest and funniest episode I would have to say was Brescia. Like our friend Brescia Webb, she came on there and I literally just could have pressed record and left the room. Brescia was being Brescia. I had all her energy and she was just talking and I would spend most of the time just laughing at her because it was just a funny episode.
So for those of y'all who remember Hold On to Your Edges, which was the podcast me and Brescia did, you'll feel a little nostalgia because it's not just Brescia there. Wigisha is with her.
No, Wigisha and Keisha, the names of they all there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Dr. Tracy.
Get ready.
I have to say that was probably the one because it was just so funny. Another episode was one with Carlos. That was just different because that's the one where the only one where I actually got to get out and do what I thought it would look like every episode, or I would like it to look like. So, but I mean, I liked all the episodes. They was all good time.
So make sure you subscribe to
Angel's episode. I love just because I love doing stuff with Angel. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So subscribe to Tanksley TV. Make sure you click that notification bell.
Yeah.
You can follow me at That Chick Angel across all platforms. I'm trying to get myself to like 1 million. I'm going to get better. I'm talking about 1 million on Instagram. I would like 1 million everywhere, but Instagram is where I'm talking about right now. So make sure you're following me on all platforms. What about you, baby? Y'all
can find me on Instagram, Marcus on the Gram, Facebook at Marcus on the Book, TikTok at Tank Don't Talk. I'm gonna try to get to 100,000 on Instagram. I'm gonna keep Angel the 10% that we've been working at.
Come on, man.
You know, when she reached 100,000, I was at 10,000.
10% now.
No, I'm saying when you get to 1 million.
I know, but you passed 10%.
Oh yeah.
I'm not at 700 and something. I ain't at 750,000. You at that 75 though.
I'm at 76.
Come on,
76.1, I think. Anyway, working on growing Instagram and Tanksley TV. So make sure you subscribe over there and get that content that's going up. And y'all can also find the Beard and Body Butter Man Shit, MANSHYT.com. Mm-hmm. But yeah, make sure y'all go over at Tanksley TV, like, subscribe, and share and all that jazz. And go down and through. That's where the Here's the Thing, not Here's the Thing, Let Us Tell It drops. You can see actually really old episodes. The original Tasting with Tank, it was boring as hell to me, but you know, there was a few thousand people that actually watched it and liked it. So
Marcus gets so serious when he gets the camera on, when it's just him.
I don't like it. I need somebody else there. I'd rather not talk. So it's better to have somebody there with me to help me talk. Because I'd rather not say nothing.
That don't make no sense, babe.
It does.
No, not if you're a host, you have to talk.
I know. It's work. But I ain't going to be hosting. I ain't Kev. I ain't just going to sit in the room by myself and just start talking and recording and post it. That's not me.
That's Tony.
Tony too. Yeah, I can't do that.
Tony will talk. Now, he would love not to hear somebody else. Shut up, man. I got opinions.
Yeah, let me talk.
Well, all right, guys. I need to stop talking. So hopefully next week I'll sound better.
Mm-hmm.
So until then.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good one, fam.